Hey guys, this is Aiman and I hope you all are having a great weekend. I promise you I will do a recap on all of my trades for the past week. But last week we had 4 trading days, right? I remember Thursday was Thanksgiving, it was holiday, so I decided I will do a recap on 5 trading days, starting from Friday the previous week and ending up with Friday this week. So this is it, my Friday 11th or 20th of November trade. One of the stocks which I traded on that day was Baba. Why did I trade it? I really was long biased on this thing. I thought this thing will just shoot up and will be a really nice uptrend. And why did I like this for a long side? We had one leg up to the long side, a pullback, a gap up above this resistance right here, and then we had those buying pressure weeks, and I told myself that if we make new 160-minute high, we could run at least for $1 or $2 depending on its average true range. So I was really long biased on this thing. After market opened, I broke my rule here. Remember what I told you, my open range breakout rule is to see a stock selling off the first 1 minute, then getting squeezed back up, and then I take it to the long side once the candle goes from red to green. This candle right here, I took it to the long side immediately. There was no red, it was just green going up. I took it to the long side. Seller stepped in a little bit later and I got sold out, so that was like -1R loser right there. After that, I saw that we're breaking this level right here in the pre-market, and I told myself, since we are breaking down, we are having some room to the downside, at least $1 scalp, and let me try to take it to the short side. Wasn't really smart as I didn't follow my plan. My plan on this thing was to take it only to the long side. You see here, the plan on the daily chart, especially that we broke above this level right there, was to trade it only to the long side, but I decided to try to the short side, added to my position, and I got subbed out. Another -1R loser. I noticed that every time we're going up, we're getting sold off. We're going up, we're getting sold off, getting sold off. So I tried it one more time, short, add, partial, 1, 2, 3 candles, pulling back. Told myself I will try one more add right here for a reverse ABCD pattern, and I got subbed out. The rest with the small loser right there. So basically this winner was good, but the partial was small, so I locked in there maybe around 1.5 hour and I was still down on this trade, especially that after that I didn't exit at break even. What's the rule that I broke here? Never go reverse ABCD pattern against a hammer. Now for an entry, reverse ABCD pattern against a hammer, it's horrible, but if you are adding when your average was up, it's fine to do that. Now look at this, what's happening? We're squeezing all the way up. You see, we're squeezing all the way up and we're going for the break of the pre-market high. So what am I doing? I'm taking it to the long side. At the break of the high of the day and the pre-market high, I'm adding to my position, taking a partial, and then just riding it all up to $269. Yeah, that was it. There was a possible place to add actually somewhere around here, I think, once we broke the high, especially after this hammer, but I don't know, I think I wasn't so confident about it and I missed that ad. NIO has been great, right? I mean, catching NIO to the long side, most of the time it's been working, especially this month. You could see that most of the days we had green candles, most of them, right? Except for some, so catching long play on NIO wasn't that really difficult. So let's take a look at this right here. We're having clear flat resistance on the 60-minute chart. At the open, we are selling off, or before the open actually, in the pre-market we're starting to sell off, and if you see this drop right here, it goes this week right here. What does that mean? That means that we broke the range which we had right there, and usually after the range is being broken, the stock should just simply sink down, or at least go to the next support area before a bounce. What happened here is that after the breakdown, it actually squeezed back up. So I see the sellers stepping in, then I see that the buyers are squeezing in them back up. On the 1 minute chart, I'm having a pattern. What is this pattern here? A bearish engulfing sandwich. So a bearish candle gets engulfed by 2 bullish candles, then we are making a new high right there. Along with that, we're breaking the pre-market high, which is my position or entry to the long side, and then riding this thing to the long side. Another trade I took on the 20th of November was Roku, and this thing I got a late entry on it. So this is the flat resistance which I wanted to take the stock on. There we are breaking it, and that was supposed to be my entry, but you saw that on the first minute I took Baba trade. and I couldn't just enter like on the very first second and bought 2 trades immediately. I wasn't fast enough, so I missed this one, which was a good trade with an entry around here, stop loss down here. This would have been like amazing, but unfortunately missed it. FOMO got the best of me. I saw those selling pressure wicks. Every time it's going up, it's getting sold off. Every time it's going up, it's getting sold off. And despite that, and look at this. This is actually a huge move. This is around $5 move. I decided to chase it, take it to the long side. I see that we're still being pushed back down, and I realized my mistake. And the most important thing when trading, guys, is not to be so stubborn. If you see that the market is not going in your favor, don't try to push it in your favor. And I just decided to bail at break even on Roku. So those were my 3 trades for that previous Friday. Monday, 23rd of November, GMIM, flat resistance right here, and previous day close up there. We're breaking above it, so not previous day close. I think it was a level from before. I don't know where I got this, but there is a level right there. I think it's pre-market level. Yeah, it's pre-market level. There it is. It's pre-market level. So we're going straight up, breaking the pre-market level, and we're breaking the consolidation of the 60-minute chart right there. And on the daily chart, we're really strong. If you look at this move, how much did we make right there? We made around $1.40 move. The average on this thing is around $2, right? So I know that we still have some room on this thing to go to the upper side. Yeah, we did 80 cents move, and we still have around 70 cents in pocket, right? We could still run around 70 cents to the long side. After the break, we're retesting, making an ABCD pattern after the retest, long, add. It's also a new 5-minute open range breakout, and it's a breakout on the 60-minute chart, riding this thing to the long side. What's my mistake right here? I didn't hold anything for a bigger run. I don't think it was also a big mistake, because we did a move from 25.60 all the way to 27.60. How much is that? That's $2 move. And what's the average true range? The average true range is somewhere around $2. I can't really ask for more than that. Now, also 23rd, VLDR. VLDR on the 6-minute chart, it wasn't that clean. I see that flat resistance, and I saw that if we break this right here, we'll have room at least to 17.20, which is around 20 cents move. 20 cents move on $17 stock, it's not that bad, but I really hoped for a bigger run than this. I thought we'll break this and then we'll make go at least to 17.50, which is around psychological number. The daily chart was looking like it's going to break up right there. 1-minute chart, there it is. Taking it to the long side at the break, taking partial at the level. My stop loss was down there, so this is my risk, this is my reward. Not so big of a winner. I think I took 20% partial here, then 30% partial there, which is 50% of my original position, and exited the rest at small loss. I gave a little bit of profits back. Another stock, 23rd of November. XPEV, look at this. I just missed this whole move, unfortunately. And I'll tell you why I missed that. That was bad. Like, the 60 was clean, really flat resistance. Daily chart amazing at a breakout area, and we're continuing after the breakout. Pre-market flat right there. Before the open, we're selling off, and after the open, we're squeezing back up where I take it to the long side, partially all the way up. Now, this is not small move, guys. If you look at my entry right here, 57, and my last partial there, 59, this is big. It's $2, right? It's not really small. It's around 3% of the stock's price. But my mistake here is that I exited the break even. You see that most of the time I let it go a little bit past my break even. Why is that? Because break even is not an original stop loss. And I know that after breakouts, usually retests happen. And then after the retest, the huge big move happens immediately after. And usually when I get stopped at the break even, I just miss the big move. What I needed to do is just hold to this and add on an ABCD pattern here, or on a 15-minute open range breakout, and then add on continuation for the trend. The average true range of this thing was somewhere around $4. The move which you did was only $2, so yeah, I should have expected a retest and a continuation. Since there was still at least $2 it could have done, which is around 59, right, all the way up here. It did way bigger move, which happens sometimes, but we should not be so greedy. Next day, 24, CCL. Daily chart, we gapped up above the consolidation area. 60-minute chart, we're having a range. And look at this. This is similar to what we reviewed before. I forgot the name of the stock. But you see what's happening here? You see we're breaking the range to the downside in the pre-market. Faking people who are long, getting them out. And then squeezing back up, dropping down at the open one more time. I'm not interested in a short. I'm interested in a long. We're squeezing back up, also breaking the pre-market level. And along with that, we're having a setup here. bullish engulfing crack, where the bearish candle gets engulfed by a bullish candle, makes a new high, and then squeezes all the way up. So yeah, this was a decent one. Another trade, 24 of November. So I know what do we have right there? Flat support. If we're breaking this, we'll have room all the way down here. If we break this, we'll have room all the way down there and down there. That was my goal, and I wanted to play to the downside. Literally no long side, because I see that it's curling down on the 60-minute chart. The daily chart, we're weak, and let's take a look what happens right there. We're opening, immediately dropping down, taking it to the short side, partialing. Not smart, because my plan is usually see the buyers power and then see them dumping, see the sellers dumping their shares, and then the buyers just die right there. I wanted to see that. I didn't see that. I immediately pulled the trigger because of FOMO. Partial right there, added right here for a smaller reverse ABCD pattern, which was bad. I should not have added right there. First of all, my entry on the second candle, and then an add on the third candle, and I know that after 3 consecutive candles there is a pullback, and the pullback is a new 5-minute high. So that was bad, and I gave all the profits here, like literally all of them, even more than that. I was down 0.5 eventually because of this. Now, going to my original plan, I see that this is not working. We're not making a new 60-minute high, right? We're not making a new 60-minute high. It's still dumping down. I'm taking it to the short side, taking some partials, adding on a reverse ABCD pattern. Am I mad at this ad? Not really. This ad right here was not bad, and it was a reverse ABCD pattern, bouncing with the 9-moving average on the 5-minute chart after 3 consecutive candles on a new 5-minute low, on an M shape on the 1-minute chart. I think this was fine. This was fine. It just didn't work out. But yeah, the second trade was decent. 24 JPM, same thing, gapping up on the daily chart. 60-minute chart was not that clear, right? But I like this hammer right here. I like the second wick on the bottom right there. And once we started squeezing back up, it's also making a 5-minute upper range breakout, taking it to the long side. My original stop loss down here. I was so close to getting stopped out. We're breaking the pre-market level. I'm adding to my position, moving my stop loss to the middle of the range. My new average is somewhere up here. This is my risk. This is my first partial. Partialing all the way up. We're making an ABCD pattern on the 5-minute chart, where I'm adding to my position. And this was a hotkey mistake. I exited all out there. I did not want to exit all out. I intended to take a partial and then hold it for a bigger run. But yeah, unfortunately, I exited all out. 25 of November, snap. Same thing, like you could see a range right there, and I was short bias on this. I knew that if we break down, it will be a nice short, at least all the way down there. What I didn't pay so much attention to was the daily chart. On the daily chart, we're going for an ABCD pattern, bouncing to the 9-moving average on the daily chart, and then a continuation could be expected. I don't know how I missed this right here, but that happens, right? We can't always be right. I was really short bias on it, so I took it to the short side many times. The first time I'm taking it to the short side, the moment we broke the pre-market, I took it half share size. This wasn't my full size. Why is that? Because I know that the market could be so volatile, and we could just get simply squeezed so much after market open. So I'm taking it to the short side, half share size, and I told myself, if at the open it goes up, then squeeze back down, I'll go full in and go for this level down there. Now, losing 0.5 R. This was my worst day, by the way, previous week. And it was all because of Snap. Now look at this. I see that we did make a new wick right there. We did make a new 5-minute high, but we're not breaking out. We're still coming back down. I'm trying to take it one more time to the short side. Really tight stop loss. Got my 1R here, but I wanted to go for the break. I wanted this level down there so badly, and I lost one more time. Now I'm down 1.5. Okay, I see that we're squeezing up. We're retesting, but the retest is not working, right? We're actually dropping down. We're pulling back. I'm going to the short side, adding to the short side, adding to the short side, and losing 2 Rs here. I'm down 3.5 and basically half R away from my max loss for the day. I decided to take one more last trade, and if this didn't work out, I would have been at max loss for this day. So taking it to the short side on a double top. I like those wicks right there, which are showing me some selling pressure. I'm adding one more time. I see this double top. I'm adding one more time. This is my stop loss. I was 1 penny away from getting stopped out, and then this works out. So finally I'm working this, and I think I made around 2 hours on this trade, or maybe 3 hours. I don't really remember. But yeah, I got closer to break even on this trade. Taking one more trade. on this day it was on solo. Same thing on solo, you see, flat, descending triangle. Same thing I didn't pay attention to here was that could have made an ABCD pattern on the daily chart, which it did eventually, right? You see, so this is something I actually missed, and I was also like snapshot based on this thing. Luckily, this thing worked out. At the open, we're squeezing up. My plan was not to take it to the long side. I see we're dropping down. We're making an ABCD pattern to the long side, which is failing. Dropping down. We're having also an engulfing pattern on the 5-minute chart. I'm taking it to the short side, adding to my position to the short side, partial, partial and all out. So this right here, I think I made around 2 hours right here, I guess. Yeah, 2 or 3 hours, I don't really remember. But yeah, I remember that on this day in particular, I ended up 1.5 hour net. Not at my goal, but because of Snap, I had a really hard time. I decided not to trade anything else. Last day, I mean Thursday is not there, 26th it's Thanksgiving, right? Last day is Friday, 27th of November. PLTR, how did I trade it? 60-minute chart, clean, right? Really long right there. Daily chart, we're at all-time high, breaking the pre-market level right there, taking it to the long side. Now here I got a bad feel. I wanted to get into the long side at 31.61 immediately once it broke the level and take a partial 31.90 with a stop loss 31.50 just or 31.45 just to get quick scalp within the range. Unfortunately, I got a late entry, some slippage, and I just decided to decrease my shares a little bit because of the bad feel. I would have lost way more if it went to 31.50, and I don't want to lose more than I usually risk. Now we're finally working, taking some partials. We're pulling back, coming back up, ABCD pattern on the 1-minute chart, right? I am adding to my position right here. There is the add right there. Yeah, I thought this actually was a 5-minute breakout. I guess the 5-minute breakout was there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this was still within this candle right here. Anyway, taking it to the long side, partialing all the way up to 33.50. The rest exited at my new break even. Now, my biggest partial on this trade was at 33. Why is that? Because we did a move of $2 and the average true range on this thing was $1.50. Right, so that's why I took my biggest partial right there. I think I shouldn't have held this one all the way down there because we did move way bigger than the average true range. $3 move when the average true range is $1.50. I should have just exited all out at the round number 33.50 like I usually do. Didn't do that. I can't really regret it. And one more trade on Friday. It was Snap. So let's see what I liked on Snap. Okay, on Snap, I like this. It gap up, drop, retest. So the previous resistance acting as a support. We're making a doji. The previous candle bigger, lower wick, right? And then we're making a new 60-minute high. On the 5-minute chart, what do we see? We saw that at the beginning it sold off. Then it squeezed all the way up, made a new low, right? So this is the first candle because it did a new low. This is the first candle. This is the second candle. We're breaking the pre-market high. I am taking it to the long side. It goes a little bit in my favor, starts going against me, and I lose 1 hour here. So yeah, that was it. Those are my trades. 5 trading days in a row. All of them winners and losers. On Twitter, I post only 1 trade a day, so you can't get to see all my trades, the bads and the good ones, right? So I decided to do this recap so that you see what's happening there behind the scenes, so that you can see all my trades, the winners and losers, my thought process, some of my mistakes I'm usually doing. If you have guys any questions, make sure to comment there on YouTube. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure to follow me. It's at Aiman BBT. I post my trades there on daily basis. I break them down. If you are interested in them or you have any questions about them, just make sure to ask me there as well. So yeah, that's it. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in the chat.